What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from the Quartering, and if I could get my little lady Annie here to stop batting the microphone. I've covered Project Melody a few times now, one officially here on YouTube and then one other time on a stream. We talked about Hose Mad, Hook X24, because they are. We laughed. We all shared a joke about people who share a website with an anime avatar being mad that, well, they've been replaced. Those who do not adapt are doomed to be left behind. And to be totally honest, this is a simple supply and demand conversation. So if you are the type of person that is relying on income from removing clothing and shaking around for tips, please allow me to take you into a bit of economics class. So, supply and demand is often determining a strong determining factor on price, for example. The higher the demand and the lower the supply means the higher the price in most cases. There are some cases where demand is created by a low price and thus low supply, and then you get a secondary market. In the case of the market of Bob's and Vagine, there's an oversupply. I can go to the Bait website, I can go to any hubs, I can go to any tube websites, I can watch it live on Twitch, I can watch it live on 1,000 cam sites. The supply of these type of females is extraordinarily high. Thus, the price, the earnings continue to plummet. And the demand for just another certified HO is probably at an all-time low, as just the market has been oversaturated. And now a new product has hit the market, and it is the anime avatar. Most famously, I think, in terms of this industry would be Project Melody, but also many Vtubers. It's quite popular in Japan, and Vtubing is a cool, I think, an interesting progression. One, it offers anonymity. Two, it offers way more. You can provide a way better, more interesting presentation and product when you control 100% of the background. Like, I can move around Fester's Quest back there or something like that, but I can't make wholesale changes very easily or very quickly. So Vtubers are an excellent market, and they're the perfect combination of the anime waifu and real person AI, and an actual real person. It's as close to modern day, like an android, a fully, self-aware android or something that could be a free thinker, but also have emotion. It's really an interesting product. Now, we saw about the Garden Tools Mad, but now the media is turning on Project Melody, where we get this absolute smooth brain written article on Wired.com called "Do Fans of Vtubers, we'll say, Hate Real Women?" The fan base of Project Melody is an anime cam lady, and the next step in digital spiciness may overlap with the more misogynistic corners of the internet. Oh my god. What happened to, like, progressive-minded people supporting this type of thing, supporting freedom? Are you mad? Are you mad that you didn't adapt and you were replaced? Are you mad that now people have a much better option? Sorry, not sorry. Project Melody doesn't do much but sway, but every swish of her cartoon hips is met with a spicy digital howl. When she takes off her barely there clothing, revealing her big ol' anime bobbies, Her fans shower her with hearts and wide-eye emojis. When she uploads a 13-minute lecture about whether hentai is good or bad, if it's art or not, it gets more than 200,000 views. When one eye half freezes, closed like a broken doll's, followers take screenshots and fawn all over them. Broken face is the best face. One comment to fans: occasional glitches seem to be something like digital dimples. Melody claims to be the world's first Thai, we'll say, cam feature, though her creators are loath to admit it. The Melody character is, of course, a fiction. Melody was designed by the animator Digit Revix to resemble a fusion of popular anime characters, including Makoto Kusanagi in Ghost in the Shell. The character's appearance, physics, and speech are rendered in real time using Unity, a video game engine. Project Melody has swelled into a platform phenom. She, if we must, is on Twitter, YouTube, Patreon, and yes, the Hub. Melody has appeared in music videos on a Japanese morning show. A week and a half ago, Melody appeared on the Chatter site, a site that allows cam models to live stream whatever they want. As Vice first reported, the avatar brought on seduced 10,000 followers in just 3 days. Today, the audience is nearing 20,000. You see what this is all building up to? This is all building up to, they took our jobs!
They took our job! They took our job!
According to Melody's fanbase, this is only the beginning. Most Melody-based memes swirl around the same theme, that the idea that virtual women are the future and an upgrade to flesh and blood. Well, for some people they are. The sloganeering is endless. The future is now. Reject tradition. Embrace modernity. Most succinctly, bots not thoughts. They foresee an internet swarming with melodies. They're probably wrong. They might be right. What do you mean? They're absolutely going to be right. Either way, being virtual is becoming an asset. If you ask Melody, and I was given no other option, despite requests to speak to an actual human, it all started with an infection. Last year, I was up a basic AI that scanned emails for malware. I accidentally opened up an email with an adult virus that infected my code, Melody wrote to me in an email. Ever since then, I've becoming more and more obsessed with human spiciness, camming, and this and that. The character's sudden popularity wouldn't have happened if internet culture wasn't primed for it. Online interest in this type of art goes back decades. 4chan got its start as an anime forum, and this type of art appealed to channers for several reasons. It's transgressive, which edgelords can't get enough of. This is the genre that features girls with tails and hooves having fun with tentacle monsters. It's also very spicy. Its characters not only have anatomically impossible bodies, but are often submissive to their male counterparts. Whoever wrote this sounds legitimately Garden Tools mad. I mean, I don't know what else to tell you. This whole article is written with an air of saltiness. You know, according to this user, fans outnumber the, well, you know, moderators aren't deaf to it. She appeals to many different groups, including online communities that politically lean right. Oh no! Oh no! Although that depiction might make one assume that her fans are all incels. And that's not really true. Yes, they make up a significant portion of her fan base. Incel is short for involuntary celibate. Significant? I highly doubt that. That's like saying anybody that watches prawn is an incel. Are among the most virtually, virulently, misogynistic communities on the internet in the last decade. About a half dozen men who have identified as that have attempted or perpetuated really bad behavior. Others tend towards expressing contempt for women at large. The ultimate thought destroyer is an anime cam girl. One YouTuber comment writes, "We live in the best timeline." So it's interesting. To be perfectly honest, here's a quote. "I didn't realize having a virtual waifu had become popular enough to qualify as an orientation, but it makes sense," Melody says. "It's a reality. It's fascinating and promising to think about, but this development benefits me and both the humans I interact with on a daily basis. While there are probably some people who are interested in this purely because they're interested in the technology, Ex-Humanist sees digi folks as disenfranchised men, people that are into these type of characters. a tone of resentment, and that idea that that sex is a right and that they are being denied it. Well, this is just typical garden tools mad stuff. Melody is promising technology for prawn enthusiasts. If Project Melody was truly autonomous AI, then it would be a game changer in terms of the economics. She could be live 24 hours a day. She could be in private chats with a million different men at the same time.
How many others?
8,316.
Her real-life cam model rivals are right to feel threatened, despite fan confidence. No one really knows what this timeline holds. Somehow it's hard to imagine a majority of men defecting from real women to a swaying blue-haired cartoon with adhesive bandage across her nose. Still, the benefit of virtual avatars is they are easily changed and personalized. I watched a movie that was exactly like this, where he fell in love with his AI. What was it called?
Hey, you just got an email from Mark Lumen.
What are you talking about?
Read email.
Okay, I will read email for Theodore Twombly. She went to Harvard, she graduated magna cum laude in computer science, and she was on the Lampoon. So that means she's funny and she's brainy.
She's fat.
I can't think of it, but it was pretty good, if I remember correctly. I guess not that good since I can't remember it, but it was a long time ago. There are no real barriers to characters like Melody gaining a large following as any human. A spokeswoman for the website says the required Melody's operator to prove their age, but added that anyone can live stream using these type of avatars, so expect copycats. Expect backlash too. Melody's a literal product of the male gaze. A person who is probably a man pantomiming femininity for an audience of paying men. Some of these men seem to harbor such ill will towards women that they'd rather pleasure to a glitchy cartoon than try to talk to one. Then again, for human women's sake, it's probably the best to leave them to it. Whoever wrote this article, you totally don't sound butthurt about it. You totally don't sound like somebody who's lonely and blames men for it. You totally don't sound like a garden tools mad, but hey, keep giving Project Melody free promotion. And you know what? This is harmless. It's harmless. So what? What happened to progressives in supporting this type of thing? I suppose you could argue that maybe this was written by somebody who's like virulently conservative, but not on Wired, and they're not making the same points that somebody who might be conservative is making. They're making the points that digital avatar is enjoyed by 10,000 people worldwide. Women most affected. Stay mad. I mean, I love it. I love it. I hope that there's 1,000 Project Melodies giving people, above all else, I think that the level of interaction that people can get from this type of technology ultimately has many, many, many more positives than negatives. I'll admit that this is something that, if just like anything, too much of it is a bad thing, and you should still try to interact with actual humans. And it does set, some standards for people that, you're not going to find in the real world. But is it really hurting anybody if they just keep to themselves? They go to their work, their job all day, and just, come home to their digital waifu? Seems like there's a lot worse things. But of course, just like everything, women most affected. Hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon.